Today I'm doing a short video about automatic writing. Now, this was requested, people have put this in the comments, and obviously if you have anything you want me to do a video about, please do feel free to put suggestions in the comments. It might take a while, but we get there eventually. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about automatic writing. Now, this has been used in spiritualism quite a lot, particularly more in the past. It was one of the things that was used a lot in the early Edwardian times, when spiritualism was involved in a lot of things such as table tilting and Ouija boards and a lot of physical mediumship going on. So it came about in that time, although I believe it's been around for a lot longer than that. So basically, to summarise what it's to define it, it's also known as psychography. And it's the psychic ability that allows a person to produce written words without actually consciously writing, i.e. it's coming through you somehow. Now, the words could be coming from your subconscious or unconscious mind, or, as we spiritualists say, it comes from the spirit world, or it could be a bit of both sometimes. Now, a lot of people have used automatic writing. Some people you would probably not expect. So, for example, I've got a list here somewhere. Aleister Crowley. I probably could expect he might get involved in it. He used automatic. Perhaps not the best of people to quote as by first person. William. William Butler Yeats, the great poet. Well, his wife. Yeats was very into all sorts of strange things like the Golden Dawn and mysterious type of mystical things like that. But his wife's name was Geordie Hyde Lees. That was the wife. She used to write by automatic writing, and so did what's his name? I can't remember. Yeah, Sri Aurobindo. Now he was an Indian man, a very interesting spiritual man. I went to his well, he died now, but I went to his ashram when I was in Delhi, one of his ashrams, and spoke to a lot of people about him. And he was a fascinating man, and he used to talk a lot about the idea of the oversoul. And I presume with his writing, he would connect with his oversoul and allow his oversoul to write through him. So that was a kind of form of inspired writing that was kind of outside of his control. And so we've got lots of people. Conan Doyle was very interested in it. He wrote about it in his book New Revelation. That was an interesting book on spiritualism, well worth reading. A bit of a hard read actually nowadays, but still very interesting. The history of it. A lot of people basically have used it in the past. Even the Surrealists, painters and writers, they used to do all sorts of things to try to access their unconscious mind, and automatic writing was part of what they did. So we're talking here of a number of different things, aren't we? We're talking about inspiration coming through. We're talking about unconscious content coming through in automatic writing. We're talking about ideas, and we're also talking about the possibility of the spirit world being able to communicate. So automatic writing needs to bypass the logical mind for it to work. Now, the danger with it is that sometimes, well, this is what I consider danger. I've had before, because you're a public figure, sometimes people used to write to me, and sometimes I get long pages and pages and pages from people who allegedly were writing from automatic writing, but were clearly had some psychological problems. So, with any of these things, any of this psychic work, we have to be able to prove it somehow. Just saying that it came from automatic writing can mean anything, can't it? It can come from your unconscious mind, or it could be the ramblings of somebody that needs to be on medication, So how do we work with it? Well, the spiritualists that I've dealt with that have used automatic writing, I don't do it myself, but they would make us a few suggestions. The most important thing is that your mind needs to be distracted when you work, right? So if a message is going to come through, one of the recommendations is that the person doing the automatic writing distract their mind by doing something else, such as reading a book. so that their own mind's not going to influence the words that are being written, that they're going to be reading something and trying to distract their mind all the time. You could play a video game perhaps while the hand writes independently. The idea is that the spirit world is somehow connecting with the unconscious mind and helping to write the material and give a message. Another thing that some people I've known do is to, if you're right-handed, use the opposite hand, use the left hand and write with the opposite hand, again perhaps distracting your mind while it's going on. In this way we can push aside the rational mind, and what comes through is coming, straight from the unconscious mind, and perhaps being influenced by the thoughts of spirit that are connecting through the unconscious mind. But this is like, you could connect this very similarly to the hand that pushes the planchette when you use a Ouija board. It's not in the conscious control of the person, it's coming from the unconscious mind. So just like with Ouija boards and the planchette, or even with table tilting, there are the possibilities of negative stuff coming through that's coming straight out of the unconscious mind. Fears, everybody here will die, that sort of thing, because it's coming from fears from the unconscious, or somebody's sat on a group in that case where their fears might be influencing the movement of the planchette. So it's important that it's done with the correct frame of mind. It's not done probably on your own. It's probably done in a group, and it needs to be done in the group where the message is for somebody in the group. So it needs to involve mediumship, and mediumship needs verifiable facts amongst the information. So it's no good giving someone a list of predictions, for example, that have come through automatic writing. It would be much better if the spirit could be established. So if it was a message from the person's dead mother or something, it might give the name, it might give details about her life, it might say all sorts of things that were kind of written in the text that the person receiving the message could verify. So it's a dodgy sort of field, automatic writing, because it's so open to so many misunderstandings and misconceptions, and we're dealing with the unconscious mind, which is a very powerful thing. You only need to look at things like hypnotism to see what the powers of the unconscious are like. So it needs to be approached very seriously. It needs to be approached in a group setting, I feel, and it needs to be done, with the understanding that some of it might just be coming from the unconscious and might be pure fantasy. But at its best, it can give good evidence of proof of life after death. It can be a very good inspirational medium. Whole books have been written by automatic writing. And even sometimes when I write my own books, I'm typing away writing something, and I've gone, I just come back and I look at the writing, I think, God, did I write all that? Clearly I was, but perhaps I'd just been so immersed in the creative act that it just flowed from me, or perhaps the spirit world are influencing me, or perhaps a bit of both. As long as the quality's good. It's a useful means of accessing the unconscious mind, and through that, as I say, through the unconscious, through the intuition, we can perhaps let the spirit work with us. Okay, simple technique, that's it, automatic writing. My book, Psychic School, will show you how to become a psychic or a medium. Over the years, I have demonstrated mediumship, confounded skeptics with the accuracy of my readings, and taught students how to unlock their latent psychic powers. For BBC Television, my real-world Psychic School classes were filmed over a year and made into a major 3-part documentary. Now I show you how to recognise and harness your own psychic powers. In fact, these forces may already be at work in your own life through gut feelings, dreams and perceptions. All you need to do is understand how to recognise and channel your abilities. I will show you how to set up a circle that can take you from fledgling psychic to professional medium. Learn about clairvoyance, meditation, spirit guides, aura reading, inspirational speaking, psychic mediumship, and other age-old techniques. Open up to the spirituality within you and learn the rewards that can follow. Psychic School is available from Amazon or my website at psychics.co.uk.